All right, Hebert, your rant of the game.
Well, the rant, I always like to break down a little history. We've only played the Dolphins 13 times. You think professional football, but, they have that many teams. But if you look at it, the all-time series was tied 6-6, so I guess the Dolphins won the rubber match. If you look in the dome, you remember I was talking about this in the pregame. The Dolphins were 1-4, where now they're 2-4 in the dome. And the last 3 decades, overall, New Orleans against the Fins, we still 5-3. Sean Payton was undefeated against Miami. He was 3-0. Now we're 3-1 when all said and done. Now, what is puzzling, we've been road warriors. No one has won more games than the Saints on the road since 2018. No one. Now, you might say, don't feel advantage with blackout. We got the black eye. It wasn't no damn blackout. We got the black eye tonight. Mike, the last 7 games in the dome, and I'm even counting the Buccaneers playoff game, and the last 7 games we were 1-6. Think about this, at home. And you talk about don't feel advantage. We are 1-6, and Carolina's coming to town. Come on, we can't be 1-7. I guess we can. We have to wait and see what happens. But the last 7 games, we are 1-6 in the Superdome. But you're not going to beat anybody if you're not converting on third down. It's amazing the time of possession was even this close. They had the ball 8 minutes more than we did. It ended up being 0 for 12 on third down. So you have to have sustained drives, but you got to convert on third down overall. Like I said earlier, 1 of 15, third or fourth down. Red zone, I thought our defense was outstanding again. Mike, they got in the red zone 3 times. They only got 1 touchdown. So they were 33% when you're looking at that. Overall, if you look at our run defense, I thought this would be critical. They didn't even average 3 yards a carry.
Nope.
They ran the ball 30 times. They had 2.9 yards a carry. I thought that
wasn't a strength for them anyway. Last week was a little bit of a mirage because of who they played.
Yeah, the Jets are sorry. They can't stop the run. And the Saints have been able to stop the run. Even we'd had all our backup linebackers played. And Pete Warner was outstanding. Pete Warner, I want to tell you about his leadership. He ended up having 10 total tackles, 7 unassisted. He was not overwhelmed when the task at hand. Mike, to show you how bad it was on third down, the first positive play on third down, it was Ian Book to Lil Jordan Humphreys for +6. Now, we didn't get the first down, but that was the first positive play with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter. Just a positive play. So going forward and not going backwards. But, again, we started the season, we were 5-2. We were +7 at one time. We came into the game. We were +3 because of the Tampa Bay game.
Now you +2.
Now we're +2. We were -1 for the game, not winning the turnover battle. The way we structured, that has to come into play. I thought penalties are not an issue. I'll be counting on Alvin Kamara. We even got a couple of texts that Alvin Kamara, same disinterested, he was soft. How maybe the Dolphins was getting in his head. But I can tell you this. If you look at total yardage, now they got a block for him, I understand that. But can you imagine?
Anything he got tonight, he got on his own.
Well, and Mike, but look, the last 2 games, and we counting on Alvin Kamara, considering the quarterback rotation and what we've done offensively. The last 2 games against the Bucs and now against the Dolphins, this is a pass receiver, running back, and running. He has 91 total yards. And we'd expect that for sure 1 game. But that's been 2 games. He had 31 against the Bucs. He had 59 tonight against Miami. And then you talk about, okay, you want the fans to cheer. Okay, you got to cheer. And they were ready to cheer. The Who Dat Nation was ready to cheer. Mike, do you know we have not scored a touchdown in the last 7 games in the first quarter? So when you're trying to get the crowd into it or your team motivation, that's one thing we always did under Drew with Sean. That we always got off to fast starts. The majority of the time in the first quarter, we have not scored a touchdown in the last 7 games in the first quarter. I thought, to me, this is the play of the game. And you brought it up earlier. It was a 3rd and 9 situation. Now, the score is only 10-3. Maybe Tua might throw us a pick 6. He threw a pick 6 against the Jets. We know Ian Book threw a pick 6. Maybe Tua might give us one. To me, this is the play of the game. 2 of the Hollins. +40 yards. He beat a Debo on that deep ball. To me, that was pass interference.
They
didn't call interference.
Yeah, we got a couple texts. I don't know.
I thought
TV
he called
must be bad because they're saying there's no way that's a catch. Well, where did he drop it?
Look, he caught
Where
it
did he
to me.
drop it? To me, he caught that football.
Well, I thought overall the officials were not the problem. The one call, but that's just the way you're going to call it now.
Going low on Onyemata.
Roughing the passer. They do not want, again, especially the quarterback, you can't hit him too high, you can't get him too low. Even if you're getting ready to hit a quarterback, I don't know, somehow you got to, if you're on the ground and you're crawling, don't go hit him in the legs. You better somehow come up and hit him in the waist. Because they do not want you going low or going high. Now, a receiver with P.J. Williams, how he knocked out Chris Godwin, now to me that's a good tackle. I mean, now you're going to tell a receiver coming across the field on a drag route, you can only hit him like the quarterback around the waist. So that I don't know. So that
we're getting closer to flag football than most people think.
So to me, that's not a penalty, but the way they're calling it today, after I saw the instant replay, I said, well,
you can see it.
No, that's the way they
it's
call it.
It's the letter of the rule that it's set up. Bob, we talked about this in the pregame show, but the Dolphins with the win tonight are now the first team. Now, just think about this: the first team in NFL history to have a 7-game winning streak and a 7-game losing streak in the same year.
So the first time in NFL history, always like NFL history. First time in NFL history,
First
Mike?
time in NFL history. You got a 7-game losing streak and a 7-game winning streak.
That's why, when they had that 7-game losing streak, that's why you have to come in the locker room and say, hey, we have a chance. We have a chance. We're going to turn it around. That's a great accomplishment by Coach Flores in keeping the team together. Now, I don't think they're going to finish strong. You look at their strength of schedule, they got the Titans and then the Patriots.
And the Patriots. And they're going to need a lot of help because they might beat the Titans. They're not beating the Patriots. They got lucky in the first game. Damian Harris puts the ball in the ground late, and they have an opportunity, and they end up winning the game. But there's no way they're going to sweep the next 2 games, and their offense is struggling.
Well, Mike, if they do, they deserve to go to the playoffs.
No, their defense deserves to go, but the offense can stay home.
Now, as far as Ian Book, Mike, we were talking about this, that your first start, Monday Night Football, you don't have all hands on deck. And there was a couple of times where I thought he misreads. Then other times he had no chance with the offensive line. So I don't think that we could judge him on that performance. But the bottom line is, Mike, and he's a mobile quarterback. He got sacked 8 times.
Lucky's a mobile quarterback. I'm just telling you, Lucky's mobile because that 8 could have been 12.
Could have been 10, or double digits, something. Well, Mike, still, listen, I mean, I played all those years. I never got sacked more than 5 times in my life. And no matter high school, college, whatever. So I know
you wasn't a runner.
There's always, you got to step up. You have to know where to get rid of the ball. And I guarantee you, when they're going to look at the film, usually when you break it down, you can cut that number in half. So if he took 8 sacks, he probably should have been sacked 4 times, which is still way too much when all's said and done. Now, the Dolphins didn't disappoint as far as their defense and how they were going to play. Mike, if you look at it on the positive note, Cam Jordan, now, back-to-back games, he's had a couple of sacks. So he has 8 sacks on the season. Davenport ended up having a sack, so he has 7.5 for the season, but not much to write home about. This was very disappointing for the Who Dat Nation and the home folks, considering what occurred and what we were witnessing. And like you mentioned, I thought Callaway came to play. I mean, I'm looking, he got targeted 5 times, 4 catches, 46 yards. I know at the beginning of the game he had 2 catches, and 2 of those catches were for 2 first downs. So it was like he was actually making plays. That was 28 yards total with 2 catches, 2 first downs. You talk about the big play booked to Lil Jordan Humphreys for 56 yards. The game was well out of hand, but there wasn't much to write home about. This was, like I said, a glorified preseason game that counted, considering the guys that were in the game and who you were counting on to try and come away with a win.